I'm Kim Castro, your painting instructor. Today we're excited to start another brand new painting. So let's get started. Get your brushes out, your paint, your easel, and this is the one we're going to do today. So let's sit down, relax, and have fun doing it. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a little bit different painting here. This canvas, as you can see, it looks maybe look white to you, but it's got a little bit of a greenish tint. This was the canvas that I used to show an example of how to do trees. So I just scraped it off and I just kind of smoothed it all out, and I just now put a coat of liquid white over the top, a very, very thin coat. And what we're going to do is show you that you don't have to throw your canvas away, even though this is tinted a bit green. It's whiter now because I let it dry for a few days, but then I put the liquid white on. And now we'll see what happens. We're going to do a little painting here, a little pathway into the woods, and with a fence and a couple of birch trees and some other trees in the background. So what I'm using today is I'm using ivory black, Van Dyke brown, cerulean blue, sap green, yellow ochre, cad light yellow, and titanium white. The first thing I've done is I've pre-mixed a little bit of some sap green with the Sicilian blue and a little bit of white, a little bit toward the blue side. And that's what we're going to use for a background here. We're just going to kind of pop it in like this. Leave some little patchy holes in there, here and there. I want a little bit bluer maybe over in this area over here. Maybe put a little bit of bluer spot over here for some light to come through. So you can see there is actually some sky in there too. And we're going to bring it all the way down. We'll get some more of the greener color. Tap it in here. Just like so. We'll come all the way down. Oh, probably way down in here. We're going to have a lot of trees in here, and we want some of that to be pretty dark because we're looking at, forest, a lot of woods and stuff like that. And we kind of make it a little bit darker in this area here. All the way down into here. And maybe just a little bit darker over here, maybe. Right up into this area here. All the way down, just like so. And we just kind of go across a little bit here, it's kind of blend it in. You use the same brush, it won't matter. Just kind of blend them colors right in there. Just like so. Nothing to it. Now, I'm going to just kind of dry off my brush a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of the Van Dyke brown and some black. And we'll probably use a little bit of this green in there with it too. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll tap in about where we're going to put some of the trees. Maybe we'll put some, maybe about right here. We just want to have a little bit of a darkness here where the trees are going to be, the green trees. Just a little bit all the way down into here. Like so. Maybe a little bit extra green, maybe we'll put some right in this way right here. A little bit in here. Maybe a little bit of a bush in there or whatever. We can tap some more in here with some bushes. And more paint. And I guess we'll just maybe go a little bit higher here. And we'll put some over here. Have a little tree up in this way. Maybe up here. About like so. I want this to be a bit darker in this area right here. So we're going to tap it pretty well. And I'm going to get some extra green. I want to green this up a little bit right in this area, but I want it to be dark. And you'll see why in a minute when we get to adding these bushes in here and stuff. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and get a little bit more of this green. right in here. And you want to come out a little bit over here. A little bit up that way. I think we'll come a little bit higher with that tree. A little bit darker up here. I'll make sure you can see them, that tree right in there real good. Make sure we get some good prominent leaves in there and whatnot. A little bit darker in the bottom here. Couple little areas. Not like so. And maybe just a tiny bit over here. A little bit of darkness over here. Alright. A little bit darker right here still. Okay. A little bit darker here. Okay, now let's go ahead and I'm going to add some of this green again. We might as well pull some, get some going down the bottom here, because we're going to be putting some grass and stuff in here, so we might as well darken this up a little bit. Doesn't matter how, you can just brush it in if you want to, doesn't matter. Not like so. About like that. Just want something nice and dark. Not like that. Alright. Okay, now you can wash your brush. In my case, I think I want to leave that one right there for the moment. And then I'm going to take another clean brush. I'm going to take some white paint and we'll add it to some of this green. Even if there's a little bit of dark to it, doesn't matter. We'll add a little bit of green to it. Quite a bit of green, actually. Some green. Very little bit of white. You don't want much white in it. Want it to be kind of a darker green. Add a little brown to it. Make it a little bit darker. Like so. So I got quite as dark as I want it. I should have used my palette instead of this palette paper. It's not giving me very much room, but we'll make it work. Okay, I'll wipe the old knife off, and I think what we'll do is we'll start over here a little bit with some of them trees right there. So we'll just tap our brush into that, push it in, and we'll see if we can get some of these little bit of trees over here a little bit. We'll just tap a little bit in here and there. These trees right here. Like so. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, just a little bit here and there. A little bit right there, maybe some there. Like so, and maybe a little bit of a bush over here. They're pretty dark in there, these little bushes right here. Okay. Now we'll just go ahead. A little bit more green. We can go ahead and we can tap in a little bit of grassy area right here. We can just get it started anyway. Just start it. Nothing serious. We're just going to tap a little bit in there. A little bit more here. Come on down. Maybe around in this way here. This area right here. All the way over to the edge over here. Like so. Get some more. I might have to get some more green paint. that. And we'll add some more variant colors in that a little bit later here. Maybe we'll darken this up just a little bit up here. We're going to be doing some more with that in a few minutes anyway. That's just to get some of that done. Alright, so I'll move that brush aside and we're going to go to the fan brush. And I'm going to take some of this green. We're going to add a little bit of yellow to that. Some nice yellow. A little bit more maybe. And then I think what we'll do is we'll start up on the top of this one. And we'll just add some leaves in here and stuff. And I think we need to actually stop for the moment. I want to go ahead and put the tree trunks in before we do that. So let's grab another fan brush and do that. I got ahead of myself again. Alright, we'll take some Van Dyke Brown and let me see what we got here. Van Dyke Brown, a little bit of black. Where we can brush in there. And we'll go ahead and we'll just put a little tree trunk in from about right here to here. About there. Maybe a little darker. Just a little bit darker. Maybe, yeah, why not? We'll put one up here. I'll have to go over that with a small brush. Okay. Wash that up. Let's switch to a liner brush. I'm not too happy with the way that's working out. I'm too used to working on big pictures. So we'll go ahead and with the liner brush, same color, black and Van Dyke Brown. Get nice and thin, and go ahead and do it again. Go right over the top of it. There we go. I want it to be darker, not like so. We'll put one here. Like so. And maybe we'll have one that comes on down like so and join into that one. And a limb over there maybe. Maybe we'll have another limb over here. You don't see that one very much. Doesn't matter. Another one here maybe. And we'll have another one there. And we'll have maybe we'll pop in a couple over here, little areas here. Just little pieces of them anyway. Like so. I'll probably end up covering those up a bit anyway. About like that. Alright, you can wash that brush off. Then we'll go back to the fan brush with the same colors. And we'll go ahead and we'll go put our leaves in here now. Now this tree over here is actually going to be a little bit in the front, I believe. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit this one first. We don't want to cover everything up, just get some leaves in there wherever we can. Some more paint. Like so. Some more. And I think we'll hit a little bit over here too. Cover up some of that tree. The trunk anyway, a little bit. And over here, a little bit here and there. Not much, just a little bit here and there. And we'll come over this way. And we'll put some over in here. Cover that one. And we'll go ahead and get a little bit more yellow. And we'll just put a little bit of, tiny little bit of highlights here and there. Just yellow. Just a little bit. Just a few spots here and there. Nothing that serious. You don't want to get carried away with them highlights. It's easy to do. Easy to get carried away with them highlights. About like so. Maybe we'll have a bush that comes down here. Not like so. A little bit of a bushy tree there. Maybe we'll get a little bit of yellow ochre in there with it. I'll put some in here. A little bit of bushes. What about like a bush there? You can do that with this kind of knife too, no problem. Like so. Let it work on its way back that way. Maybe put a little bit of that ochre right in the grassy area here. A little bit maybe here. Alright, now we'll go ahead back to this other brush that we had and see if we can add some bushes in here a little bit. I think we're going to need to thin out a little bit. A little bit thick. Go a little darker. Still ain't quite thin enough, I don't think. Or dark enough. I don't like the way that's coming out at all. So we'll go with an ochre and see if we can fix it. Whoops, there's some white in there. Don't want that. Well, we gotta go over the top of it now. See, I messed it up. It happens. That's okay. We'll call it a happy accident. Right over the top of it. Not like so. So we're going to need some more sap green. I was being stingy with my paint. Stingy with my paint. Okay. Let's see if we can fix it. There we go. Have that green over here too. Wouldn't hurt a bit. See, I'm not getting enough paint on the brush. That's what happens when you're a traditional painter a lot. You get used to being a little bit stingy with the paint. Yep, a bit of a bush over here. Over here. And we'll just kind of tap that out a little bit. Alright. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wash that brush a little bit. I'm going to go to another brush, and I want to get some brown with some white in it. Lighter brown. And I want to tap in a little bit of darker areas here for in between the grass. Dirt. Basically what you want is some more dirt in there. A little dirt in there. Like so. We have some dirt over here, make it a little bit darker. A bit of dirt up here. And maybe even a little bit of dirt up in this area. Darken it up a little bit. Right up here. We're going to have a tree right there. I want to make sure we got something darker in there to help with that a little bit. Just darken that just a little bit more. We're going to cover that with grass anyway, so we just want to get a little bit darker in that area. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll clean this brush. A little bit anyway. I don't mind leaving it a little bit wet, but we're going to clean it up some. Now we can go ahead and come back in with some more grass. And we can clean them areas up some. Like so. Maybe we'll add a little bit of white to that, lighten it up a little bit more. Over here. Like so. There we go. Now she's looking a little better. Now we kind of make some grassy spots in here. You can see some of the grass sticking up. Just push the brush in. See some grassy areas that way. And we can do the same thing over here. We'll just make some grassy areas like that. So, like that. And I'll go ahead and grab a little bit of yellow for the highlights here and there. Just a little bit, not much, just a little bit. Here and there. Here and there. Have a little bit right here, going to be putting in a pathway here, so we want to make some highlights that will go accordingly with that. We'll take a little bit of ochre in this area here, like so. A little bit of ochre over here maybe, and maybe up around in this area here. Tiny bit up here, about like so. Okay, now let's go ahead and put our path in. And I'm going to use a really small knife here. I'm going to go ahead and put a bit of white in with this brown. And we'll add some other colors as we go here. So we're going to start our path maybe about right here. And we'll just kind of scrub it in like so. This is going to be kind of small. It's not going to be that big up this area here. We'll make it bigger as we come along here. We'll make it a little bit darker and a little bit lighter, and we'll add some dark parts to it. And we'll just get it about where we want it to be first. So we'll just kind of move it along right here, keeping your brush kind of level, about like so. Yeah, I'll use some of this darker black and whatnot, and brown, and a bit more Van Dyke brown. We'll just brown it up some more. Some shadowy, shady parts into it, and whatever. Maybe a bit darker over here, a bit of black in the middle of the road there. About like so. A bit more black, I think. A few spots here and there. Kind of like some puddles here and there. About like so. About like that. And maybe a little bit darker up here. Okay. Well, we can also take and add a little bit of white into that too as we go along. We'll just take a little bit of white, and just in a couple of little spots, we'll just grease it with some white here and there. Maybe we'll have it come down the backings a little bit there. About like that. Okay. Now we can go ahead and we can add some more grass to that area. By just tapping it up to it. Like so. Want it to come around this way here. Just move it around. Like that. We'll make this area a little bit greener in this area. Kind of growing up right there a little bit more. Like so. We'll do the same thing over here. Darken it up a little bit here and there. Maybe get some. We got some bushes that's going to be coming up in here, so we can go ahead and We'll put a little bit of a bush here like this. Really gently just tapping it. Maybe we'll have one about right here. And you'll see why in just a minute. Maybe a bush over here. About like so. And I think we'll just take and put some right across the road right there. Get a lot of paint. A lot of paint right there. About like so. A few highlights in here. Right there. Maybe some in here. A few down in here maybe. A little bit over here. About like that. Okay. Now let's go ahead and put a fence in here. We'll wash that. We'll put a fence maybe about right in this area right here. So we'll go ahead and use I'll just use a big old liner brush with some black Van Dyke brown mixed together. Thin it out real good. And we'll just take and we'll put, maybe we'll put one about right here. Put one post there. Make it a little bit darker, a little bit thicker, I guess. I still use a knife, but that'll be alright. One here. One here. One there. Maybe one right there. Wipe that off. Some more paint. Out there. Not like so. Maybe a little bit stronger up here. I'll make that a little bit blacker if we can. Not like so. Okay, then we'll go ahead and we'll connect this one up to here. And here. This one will have about there. All the way over to here. About like so. And we'll take a little bit of this magic white. And we'll add it to this yellowish greenish color. Really we'll get it good and thin. And I think we'll use a different brush for that. We'll use the regular liner brush. I don't want to get too much on it. Then we can just kind of go across and we'll brown that tip a little bit first. And we can put a little bit there, a little bit there, a little there, a little bit there. Some more paint. You're reflecting the same colors as in the woods, really. We'll add a little bit of white into that too, probably. And maybe we'll put a little bit over here. We'll add a little bit more white to that. Okay. And we'll just dab a little more on there. Whoops. Got a little carried away on that one. Then we'll come across the tops. Like so. And we've got a fence. fix this little spot here, like so. Darken it a little bit. Just fix it like so. No big deal. Okay, now I'm going to take another brush just because for the looks. I want to add some darker colors into this road a little bit, right about here, and maybe here. Just add a little bit in here. And this brush should be fine. Just give it some shadows in there. That's all. Not like so. Like that. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and we'll clean that brush. Let's go ahead and put our birch trees in. So we'll use the fan brush for that. And you thin the paint just a little bit. We use the black, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, but mostly black. Okay, well, first tree we'll start and we'll come in. We're going to be coming right about over to the very corner here. So we're going to come from here all the way down to about right there. Might have to hit it a couple of times. Maybe make it a little bit darker, blacker. You have a lot of paint in there, so kind of have to move the other paint out of the way. We'll make that a fairly fat tree. He's healthy. Like a nice, healthy, fat tree. From that end of the tree, we're going to be coming up with a big branch off that tree, so we want it to be pretty stout down here. Pretty stout. And I think we'll give it a leg right about there. And then we'll take and bring this one down from about right here, all the way down, right to the bottom, out to there. And you can bring it out from there, make it a little bit fatter, like that. Just like so. Okay, now all we gotta do is put that in there. We can go ahead and take your liner brush. You go ahead and make your branches now, it won't matter. Maybe we'll have a branch that'll come off of the very top here. It'll come up and maybe go off right there. Way up, real thin. Another one that goes up further that way. And we'll have one that kind of curls around, goes out that way. Off the side of it that way, like so. We'll have one comes out like that. And one that comes off of it like that. And maybe we'll have one that comes up here, like so. Yeah. That way maybe, another one that way, who knows, wherever. If you're painting, you put them wherever you want to, however many you want. Like so. Maybe another one there. Maybe a little bit of a tip of one right there. And maybe you got some tiny ones in here. Anyway. Alright. Maybe we'll have this one come out a little bit more that way. Okay. Alright, let's take and wash that. And for some reason my stop isn't working. Alright, now let's go ahead and we'll grab our liner brush again. Get a little bit of thinner in it and get some of that yellowish green maybe. And get good and thin. I'm going to make some, just a few grass leaves here and there, you know, just to liven it up a little bit. Maybe we'll even use a darker green. I think I will use a darker green. Nice and thin. Get it out at the point. And maybe just here and there, just kind of add some little pieces of grass here and there. That's not thin enough. Paint's too thick there. Okay, let's try that. Alright, I want it to be darker. So we'll go with a lot darker green. Pure sap green. Maybe we'll add a little bit of Van Dyke brown to it. Make it a little bit darker. I want to be able to see those grass leaves. About like so. There we go. Just like so. Just here and there. Good and thin. Just wherever. You can change the color and add some of the lighter colors too, if you want to. Wherever. A little bit here and there. Just little doers, as I call them. Longer ones here and there. I definitely want to get some over here. Some illusion of a little bit of grass growing here and there. Always got grass up around the fence posts, whatnot. Some little ones here and there, up around the tree. You can spend a lot of time just doing that. I'm just giving you an example of what you can do. Wherever, you know, just dab in there wherever you want to. Some little pieces of grass and whatnot, and sticks and twigs and all that kind of stuff. Some little ones here and there, anywhere. Up right up these trees if you want to. You can put a few up there. Up over here. Just play with them, make some of them a little bit darker, some of them lighter. like so, wherever. Kind of like the icing on the cake, so to speak. Give it some variety, give people something to look at. And you take and clean your brush, get some of that Sicilian blue. A little bit of white in there with it. Grab some white first. Put a little bit of that blue. Mix it up good. Really good. Get you a good chunk of it, a good little dab of it there. And then you can just take and wherever you want to, just kind of make you some little flowers. Not like so. Just lay the brush down, get a little paint. Wherever. You know, don't need a lot of them, just here and there. Blue and white. A little bit more white there than I really wanted, but we'll make that work. Can always add a little bit more blue into it and go over it again. Add a few flowers here and there, just some little dots, whatever. That's all, just need a few flowers. A few petals here and there. You can even add a few white ones if you want to. See a little bit of that magic white. Mix it with some titanium white. Add a couple little white ones if you want to here and there. Just some little petals here and there. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not much of a flower person, we've already determined that. Just a few here and there. Just a little sparkle. That's basically all it is. It's kind of make your picture sparkle a little bit here and there. Nothing special. Alright. I think I'd still like to add a little bit more of a darker color to the road here and there, though. I'm just not quite as happy with that as I'd like to be with it. Make it just a little bit darker here and there. Just add a few bit more of a bit of darker spots here and there. That's all. I like so. Black's all I'm doing, just adding some more black to it here and there. Just want that pathway to be a bit more obvious. That's all. You can add some white to it or some lighter browns back into it if you want to. That's okay too. Add a little bit of white into the Van Dyke brown, and then you can add some white back into it, however you want. But I just wanted to add some to it. Wasn't real happy with it. Now you can always add some more grass in there if you want to. That's up to you. Yeah. You see some areas you want some more grass in there, go ahead and just add it in. Now's the time to do it, toward the end. Got some little darker spots here and there, or whatever. Lighter spots, yellower spots. It's up to you. Just something to add some more variation. That's all I'm doing right here, is adding a little bit of a variation. Little darker areas here and there. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Like so. Break it up. Alright, now we're going to do the last part here, and we're going to do the birch tree. So we need to pull some white out. And if you've been watching before, you know how I do it, basically. So we'll start with the end right here. And because this is really a separate tree right here. Make sure you get a good roll of paint. And just touch it, give it a little pull. Like so. Some more paint. I'm going to do the same thing to this one right here. We'll just start, maybe we'll just start in the middle here a little bit. Like so. All the way up. Like so. And maybe you can, you could actually come around the bottom of the foot. Pull some in from the other side. Like that. Nothing to it. Nothing to it. Just like so. Even put a little bit of that green in there. Won't hurt it a bit. Just like that. And if you want to, you could probably even kind of join them two together if you wanted to, or you could add some darker to it if you wanted. Get that in there. Take your fan brush. Get any problems down the bottom there, just get you some more green. Tap it out onto it, like so. Add some more foliage to it or whatever you want. Makes no difference. You can even just go the other way, like that. Add a little grass, like so. Just like that. Okay, get you a little bit more green. And then what you can do is go ahead and add your leaves up here. Lots of green. And we got some right here. Out there. And some over here. Up in here. On the top here. Some more over here. Right on down into there. And maybe we'll come across this way some more. Right into there. That's really about all we're going to need, about right there. Then we can go ahead and we can highlight that. We'll just grab some of this, a little bit of yellow. Put it in with some of this green. And go ahead and we'll just highlight a few areas. Like so. Nothing to it. As you can see, I'm not using very much at all. I'm just touching it here and there. Just giving it a highlight. Like so. That's all there is to it. You take some of that highlight now if you wanted to. You can add a little bit more of the lighter colored grass in down here. Like so. Nothing to it. And I think we're going to finish painting. So just sign it. Be proud of it. And like, comment, and share. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate anybody that joins Patreon to help support the channel. And that does help buy the paint and the canvas, and believe me, it's expensive, and we could definitely use the support with it. It's only $1 a month. There's a $5 a month one too for the tier 2 and $15 for tier 3. But even the $1 a month, it all helps. It all helps a lot. So y'all have a good day, and we'll see you at the next painting.